Hello, my name is Ben Ryder from the Academy of Gaming, Film and Animation at Northern Adelaide Senior College, and what we're going to be looking at today with the AgFo Engage class is going to be looking at how to model this sort of sword here from Lord of the Rings, which is called Sting. So we're not going to go too far in depth and everything. Basically it's going to be broken down into 5 parts. First part is going to be looking at creating a project file and uploading the orthographic. Second one's going to be using primitives to block out the model like we did with the snowman. Then it's going to be looking at using edge loops, extrude and bevel tools. Finally, basic UV mapping with a provided UV texture, and then creating and assigning materials and textures. So I'll break them up into 5 individual videos. First one here, creating project file and uploading orthographic images. So if you have not already done that, on daymap you want to download these textures here, and most importantly this one here called the top orthographic, which we'll be using to model our sword around. So if you haven't done that, please by all means go there. There's also a link there to the finished models of what we're going to be looking at. So I'm just going to go ahead and download those as well. In fact, I'm not going to because I already have them, so I'm just going to copy and paste them into my Maya project folder. But first things first, we're going to actually create our project folder. So again, for those in class, we want to make sure that we're saving this to our shared drive. So we want to go to File, Project Window here, and this is where we're going to create our project window to store all these image files so that Maya knows where to find them. We're going to go New, and I'm going to actually click here on this manila folder to navigate towards that shared drive. So if I go My Computer, Shared Drive here, if it has an X on it, that means you need to go out of Maya, open up Windows Explorer and type in the password, which is up on the board. 2020, we're going to go Engage AgFo. I've got a folder here, you want to create one for yourself. I've also created one for my Maya project folders, which I'd recommend, and we're just going to select that and keep it here. I'm just going to call this one AgFo Engage Sword 2 and go accept. And what that will have done is created this project folder here, which has all these folders in here. Now the 2 ones that we're going to be most concerned about are going to be scenes and source images. Scenes is where we save our Maya files, and source images is where we put all of the images we're going to need in that scene. So I'm going to go here to source images, and because I've downloaded those files already, I've got them just here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy those in and paste them in here. So they're all now there ready for me to use. So now if I go new scene, I go done save here. I'm now going to go set project and set it to that Maya project. And then I'm going to go straight ahead and save a scene in here and call it sword. I'm calling mine sword 2 so I don't have any conflicts with the other one that I did before. Cool. So now my scene is set up and ready for me to bring those images in. So the first image I'm going to bring in is an orthographic image. So if I click here on the left hand side, I'll see these orthographic views here. And these are really useful for when you're modeling, especially when we start looking at vertex modeling, because it gives us a guide of what we're going to be working with when we start modeling and start moving vertices around. So here we have a set of menu for each of these viewports. The viewport I'm looking at is the top one here. I'm going to go here to View, and I'm going to go down to Image Plane and Import Image. And what this is going to do is it's going to go straight into that source images folder that I had before, find that orthographic image and load it in there as a 2D plane, but it exists in a 3D space. So I click here on orthographic, I should see a preview of this, and this is what I'm working with here. I'm going to go open, and now you can see here in the 3D view, it exists here as a 2D plane. And so I can now move that, and obviously I want to try and center it up here in the center of the map. I'm going to just have it right there. Could stand to make it a bit bigger as well. And I'm just going to have it there. Now because this is a sort of short intro on how to use these tools, I'm not going to be too worried if I don't follow this exactly, but it's just a good guide there just to sort of help us to make sure we get the proportions of the blade right. So that's going to finish this first video because all I wanted to do is show you how to set this all up. In the next video we're going to look at using primitive blocks to sort of shape out this sword.